probably down to the crew level. They would test systems, but not necessarily all the way down to the point that we're looking at right now.
Do you mean never? Or
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't think never is the right thing, because we, at the warehousing operation, we went in and did some intense changing of procedures down there approximately 8 or 9 years ago, to be sure that all of our products were barcoded, and we looked at all the internal procedures down in the utility side of the house to be sure that our warehousing operation was being handled correctly. Public Works is probably not as intense as we had done there, because they did not handle as large a volume of product that was handled at the warehouse. So it's probably been a lot less in the detail area when we were testing out in Public Works. So I wouldn't say it's never, but I would say it is not at the detail level that we're seeing that needs to be accounted for. The other item is that, from my standpoint, we have authorized our departments to set up their own, at below the fixed asset inventory. Those are items that the auditors are really concerned. They're the big valued items. The small valued items, the departments themselves have been authorized to set up their procedures within their SOPs to handle their items. And what we're finding out is that Public Works may have been lax in establishing their internal procedure. Police and fire have good internal procedures. Public Works is probably over on the laxness side.
have you required your department heads? How many departments do you have in the city government?
Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can go through and name them for you. Okay, here located at City Hall, there is the Finance Department, there is the Information Technology Department, there is Community Development, Public Utilities, their administrative component, Parks and Rec, Police, or Public Safety today, Public Works, and then there's the HR function. And so there's probably 8 major departments, and then the administrative component.
Okay, thank you. Another question I have is, did you require, or do you require, your department heads to conduct their own internal investigations of the departments and submit a report to you?
Okay, internal investigation, what do you mean?
I should have said inspection, internal inspections, to see that in their department procedures, certain kind of reports, inventory control, and policy regulations are being followed.
Okay, and I think there are 2 levels of that. Is that one is on an annual basis, at least an annual basis, the fixed assets of the city, and I'm talking about the large items. Those are accounted for every single year. So finance sends, we take the computer generated reports of all of our large assets, and again, large assets are anything valued over $3,500. I think it's $3,500 is a major asset of the city, and those are completely on the fixed asset inventory list. And there are certain items that are on that list that are below that threshold that we track. For example, computers. They technically are, because of the pricing of computers today, they are below that, but our IT department tracks all of our computer material so that we know where they are, and they're checked. It's the items below 3,500, I think, that we are talking about. And generally those are your shovels, your rakes, your chainsaws, your weed eaters, those types of items. And what we're finding is that's the area where the procedures are needing to be strengthened, and the checking of that inventory is needing to be done more frequently.
Okay, very good. So just maybe to belabor this question just a little bit more, this area of concern. I know when Port Orange Police were asked to look into a possible problem with gasoline usage, and they did, and they found no problem there. Let me ask you about the gasoline that's used by city workers for the city vehicles. Do they dispense their own gasoline, and what kind of report or monitoring system is associated with such dispensing gasoline into city vehicles?
Okay, let me just turn and get a document for me over here just a minute. Okay. What I'm looking for is the document that is provided every month. This is the report I receive from our vehicle maintenance division. Okay, it records in summary, but there is also a very detailed report that comes back to the city that I receive also, that lists every piece of equipment and what they've used. Now, what this compares is same month of last year to the month of this year. And what I normally look at is for the anomalies in use. And in fact, this report also, as my understanding, goes to our finance department. And then occasionally I will see something that is an anomaly on the report, and then I will go in and look at the details of the report to see, if there is a particular vehicle, there is a particular item that is there. And if it is, then I bring it to the attention of the department head and saying, okay, I need you to tell me what occurred at this location or things of that sort. So this is this is the summary. The rest of it is a fairly detailed report. The second item, if I can just see if I can find it, okay, every one of our employees dispenses their own fuel. Now, it's an electronic fuel dispensing system. This happens to be a copy of a card that is used by all of our employees that are dispensing fuel. So the card reader, you have to enter the card read, and you have to enter the vehicle mileage. You have to enter your ID number, and all of that, and it's recorded of the location, your time, and all of that. And that's what is the detail behind this report, and all that. Now, one of the things that in our kind of our investigation, or our looking at the internal controls, that we have found that may be weak is the what I call the cans that are used to fuel, like lawnmowers, our weed eaters, and all of that. Okay, we still have the card here, so we know when an employee drew the fuel, we know the amount of it drew the fuel, but tying it back to a specific fuel can is what was shown as a weakness in the system. And so what we're now requiring is all of our cans to be numbered, and those cans are tied back to a specific crew within the city's operation. We've also have diesel that often is placed in a tank that is in either one of our dump trucks or one of our trucks that is now used to fuel like generators and all of that. And what we are now doing is placing a fuel dispensing unit on the back of those trucks that will tap the tank, so that you know very specifically when I'm fueling the generators here at City Hall or out there, and how much fuel was placed in each one of the generators. So we did find those were some of the weaknesses in the system. Is although we know what employee pulled fuel, we know when they did it, is that is tying some of those cans back to a very specific work.